You already heard about Kansas City Chiefs star Harrison Butker's speech at Benedictine College. He encouraged women to embrace their roles as homemakers, which the outraged mob called sexist, since none of them can cook a decent breakfast. My defense was simple. It's appropriate for the venue. Same thing I said when they ejected me from flash dancers for wearing pasties. He's a Catholic giving Catholic values at a Catholic university. Besides, if you want to hear a speaker promote abortion, drag queens, and destroying the family, just go to a children's library. But compare Butker's speech to Biden's commencement address at Morehouse College in Atlanta, where he started off strong by saying he was VP during the COVID-19 pandemic, which he meant to say the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918. He was at a black college, so he pretended that it's the Republicans who are racist and not him, resulting in the worst race pandering since Rachel Dolezal OD'd on bronzer. Roll it.
Today in Georgia, they won't allow water to be available to you while you wait in line to vote in an election. What in the hell is that all about? I never thought I'd be a president at a time when there's a national effort to ban books. Not to write history, but to erase history. They don't see you in the future of America, but they're wrong.
Sorry, the only history erased is from his short-term memory. He also bragged about ignoring the Supreme Court in a desperate move to buy student support and told them they face insane racism wherever they go.
I'm relieving the burden of student debt. Many of you have already had the benefit of it, so I can chase your dreams and grow the economy. And the Supreme Court told me I couldn't. I found two other ways to do it. What is democracy? If black men are being killed in the street, what is democracy? The trail of broken promises still leave black communities behind. What is democracy? You have to be 10 times better than anyone else to get a fair shot. And most of all, what does it mean, as we've heard before, to be a black man who loves his country, even if it doesn't love him back in equal measure?
Well, nothing inspires college graduates like telling them they're But let's stop there then. Dana, there's more from there, but I'm just going to dump out. Where is Biden's speechwriter in all this? Like, what is this?
Oh, they all graduated from Grievance University because I would never allow somebody that I work for to give a speech like this at a commencement. When you have young black people who have just worked really hard and they might be the first generation to go to college, and in front of all the parents, the president of the United States was like, yeah, you guys, you'll never amount to anything. And then when he said, you have to be 10 times better than anyone else, they were all thinking, wow, I could be 20 times better than you right now.
Yeah. Kat, if he really wants to get rid of white supremacy, shouldn't he have just resigned? Oh. And then he's got a black lady right next to him. What's her name again?
Yeah, the speech, it was a little strange, you know, just like, hey, black people, a lot of people hate you, but don't worry, because I'm here. Like, ew, like, it's just so weird. And then, you know, the other commencement speech that was really controversial at the Catholic college, where he was saying Catholic stuff. Yeah. I mean, I agree that I could not disagree more with his view of what a woman should be. With the way I live, I don't make dinner, I make money. Thank you. But my having a different view of the roles of a marriage, I've solved that problem with other people thinking that way by just not marrying those people.
Right. It was pretty bleak, Dr. Drew.
Yeah. I noticed also he kept saying black men. What about black women?
Because it's a black men's college.
It's only male.
Yeah. Do your research, Dr. Drew.
I actually
Call yourself a doctor?
Because it was so... All right, my fault. My bad.
Can't you tell the difference between a man and a woman?
We'll talk about that soon. It's coming.
Go ahead.
About what?
Anything. Oh, let me ask you this. Do you think there is a purpose to him being so stark and bleak?
I think it's not helpful.
Yeah.
First of all, it's anachronistic. I mean, that speech would have made sense some years ago. I think we should acknowledge that racism still persists, and we should always be making remedial remedies for it. But we're not in the past. I always keep saying, let's live in the year we're living in. We're not living in the year where you have to be 10 times better to succeed if you're a person of color. And in some instances, it's an advantage.
Yeah.
In some places, it's not an advantage. But we're not living in that world that he's talking about. And I don't think that helps anybody.
And the past is complicated. Didn't I just hear that Angela Davis found out that she's related to somebody that came over on the Mayflower?
Yes.
I mean, the past, I've been fascinated by the French struggling with presentism, exactly what you're writing about in your book. What's the book called again?
The book is called What This Comedian Said Will Shock You. It's funny when you see the cover. It looks like clickbait.
Yes, it does.
But they're dealing with, they're trying to struggle with Napoleon, what to make of him. Did you know that he was not short?
Really?
He was average height for a Frenchman. And there were many things about him.
So is Greg.
It's unnecessary. Out of nowhere. All right.
You're short on time. Let me be.
Yeah. Up next, gender issues get muddy over another revealing study.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.